back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! The Perverts Have Spoken! Yes, yes, yes. Coming off of last night's creature feature. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was pretty lame. But anyways, I thought, you know, what would be better than a mid-80s sci-fi creature bloodbath than maybe a mid-80s Chinese supernatural creature bloodbath. Right? Right? Yes, and that's what we've got with the Chinese movie, the Hong Kong awesomeness that is Seeding of a Ghost. Yes, Seeding of a Ghost. So what is this movie all about, Mr. Zankoku? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this movie is kind of strange. So we have our main character. He is a cab driver, just newly married, about 4 months. Anyways, he's driving along, minding his own business, when all of a sudden, an evil sorcerer type guy kind of runs right in front of his cab and he gets hit. Well, he was sort of running in front of the cab because he was robbing the local cemetery, and apparently the people don't see that in a very good light. They kind of frown on that, and so they were chasing him like a bunch of angry villagers, even though this is a city, but whatever. They had torches and shit, you know, it's back to old Frankenstein days. Anyways, so the cabbie hits him, but he doesn't die, and the warlock sorcerer guy tells him, oh, it's very unfortunate that you ran into me, because now bad luck is going to happen to you, and you're going to have to suffer some sort of familial tragedy. Which, you know, wow, thanks, you know, I kind of saved you from that mob, but, well, I guess I have to suffer. So anyways, his wife, who is a poker dealer, not a poker dealer, blackjack dealer at a local casino, meets this attractive married man who seems to be very well-to-do. And, of course, he, you know, likes her because she's a hot piece of A, right? So he kind of seduces her and they kind of have a fling. So there's the beginning of the familial tragedy. I mean, infidelity is always a tragedy. Don't you dare cheat on people. Come on. Seriously. Anyways, so they get all sexy. And one night, she says, you better leave your wife. I'm going to leave my husband. And of course, he's all like, dude, don't you know that I was just using you for sex because you're a hot piece of ass. And that's all I really cared about. Well, of course, she gets upset. And they almost run into these two, I guess you would call hoodlums in a car. And they wanted to start trouble, but she kind of deflates the situation. Deflates? She a patriot? Okay, bad reference joke. Anyways, so they all leave. She gets upset, runs out of the car, won't get back in, so the guy she's cheating with kind of goes, okay, whatever, drives off. And of course, those two hoodlums show up again and go, oh, you know, you're all by yourself, we can keep you company, and chase her into this kind of abandoned mansion thing, and then they go in for the rapey time, you know? Ooh, dang. Actually, it's kind of an interesting situation. So they're chasing her around and ripping off her clothes, and she falls down a flight of steps and is knocked unconscious. And, you know, at first they're all like, oh. And then the main guy's like, ha ha. Like, literally, he's like, ha ha. Ha ha. Hey, look at it. She's not going to struggle anymore. Anyway, so he gets with the rapey time, but his friend kind of gets some cold feet, and she regains consciousness and starts running away again. And one thing leads to another, and the one guy accidentally pushes her off the top of the building and into some spiky things. I mean, what kind of mansion has spikes? But whatever. So the husband, who got a call from her earlier, is driving to meet her at where she specified to meet her, but she's not there. And then he gets this mysterious cab notification from the central office to go to that mansion. Of course, you know, when he says, she's not here, why'd you call that in? The operator's like, we didn't call anything in. What the hell are you talking about? And then he gets a flat tire. When he goes to change the tire, his spare rolls away right to the spot where she's dead, and we already have some weird supernatural stuff going on. Anyways, the police are involved because, you know, you had a kind of a rape and a murder, and these police are super badass. I mean, like there's like a Miami Vice type of Chinese cops, you know. It's like they're all like, you know, like bare-chested, like, you know, they wear like dress shirts, but they're unbuttoned like they're manly man, like, you know, there's no dress code in the Chinese PD or something. But they have these two suspects, they just kind of drive up to a parking space, and then behind a wall they're like, wah! Ooh, ninja style! Even though I guess you would say kung fu style since it's Chinese. But I digress. Part of the charm of this movie, anyways. So you get this thing where the two hoodlums are caught and arrested, but they say, no, we had nothing to do with it. And apparently, back in the 80s, law enforcement was completely inept, so they couldn't do anything. And so the husband is left to mourn the loss of his wife and can't do anything to the cheating motherfucker or the two hoodlums that raped and killed her. So he turns to that evil warlock guy and asks him, or sort of persuades him, to help him get vengeance. And they do so by doing the ritual known as a seating of a ghost. Roll credits. Oh wait, that's a different YouTube channel. But anyways, so it involves a ritual of getting her body back and basically giving power to her ghost so that she can go around and possess people and make all kinds of revengey time. And it starts out first as psychological torment of the two rapists and the adulterer, and then soon elevates into possession of friends. Like the adulterer's wife becomes possessed and tries to kill him by jamming a match-shaped lighter in his rectum several times. Ow. And the other two guys, the one guy's sister gets possessed and tries to sexually assault him. So yeah, we've got some rape cest going all of a sudden. And he runs away and ends up getting pushed off the top of a building. And the other guy gets tormented with visions of everything that has liquid in his home overflowing, including the toilet. Rather disgusting scenes, I tell you, until he ends up being chased all the way to where they're having that ritual so that they can use his soul to further seed the ghost. So yeah, then we get some nice, you know, we get ghost rape and ghost pregnancy, and oh my goodness, this, oh my God, the ghost spawn, whatever you want to call it, is a monster with tentacles and teeth, and is glorious what happens. I mean, literally, we have a scene from Alien showing up with chest bursting, face hugging awesomeness. And though my version of this movie is from a VHS, it is rather crude and dark, and so I would love to get like a really good DVD or even Blu-ray, if that is even possible, so I can, you know, see things a little bit better, because this was really dark, and I'm sure a lot of the gore and nastiness would be even better represented with that. But the version I have to deal with. Whatever. It was cool. It was awesome. I don't want to get into everything because, man, I don't want to spoil the movie, but let me just say it's a thoroughly enjoyable monster ghost weirdness. Not necessarily scary, but strange and intriguing, especially the whole, they sort of had like this, it's almost like voodoo, but it's like the shaman versus shaman thing going on toward the middle, and it's a Hong Kong Cat 3 film involving rape and murder, so there's a whole bunch of nudity in the beginning, kind of in the middle, and even toward the end a little bit. But overall, my overall impression of this film is a solid 3.5 out of 5. It's, you know, the effects are kind of cheesy, but it's an entertaining film, and there's enough going on in the beginning with the sex and the naughtiness to keep me entertained until we get to the juicy weirdness and spiritual, psychological, and then monstrous effects toward the end. And really, once the ball gets rolling, it is crazy. I mean, the last 5-10 minutes of the film are absolutely spectacularly wonderful and weird and avant-garde. So, you know, my overall impression is 3.5 out of 5, though my enjoyment factor for this film is like a 4 out of 5, because it is fun to watch. Plus, you know, I'm a fan of that cheesy stuff. I mean, the practical effects, kind of good in spots, kind of crappy in other spots, and overall it feels like a wonderfully good 80s horror schlock fest. And man, I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, I mean, especially like, come on, seriously, like ghost rape, like reverse necrophilia. Basically, the corpse was fucking the dude. That's wow. Or actually, it was sort of just fucking a spirit, but that's another level of strange weirdness in this type of movie. So anyways, there you have it. Seeding of a Ghost. I recommend it for all you perverts out there. After all, this is The Perverts Have Spoken, and it is a rather disgusting little ditty. So there you go. Seeding of a Ghost. Episode 13 is done. Getting ever so close to that halfway point, and oh my goodness, I am going to sleep like the dead tonight because I am so tired. I mean, seriously, as I was re-watching this, I'm sitting down, I'm getting comfortable. Actually, even before that, you know, I was kind of checking some stuff. I was getting a little, I mean, I was just operating on like 4 hours of sleep for the last 3 days. So man, I'm looking forward to getting this tied up really quick. So, until next time, Internet, you guys stay scary. Oh yeah, don't run into any warlocks. Apparently that's bad luck for your family. Whatever.